All right, so this is the guide video for building your game design document. We've already created our game concept in Word, and we've created our game proposal presentation in PowerPoint. Now we're going back to Microsoft Word in order to create the game design document, which is going to be the framework that we use to start building our game itself. So this is the last part of the pre-production phase before we move into production and actually creating the game on Sploder.com. So you can think of the game design document as kind of a rough draft or some like a think map, if you will, of the actual game itself. It's going to have a list of the types of controls that you can use, the rules for winning and losing the game, and also it's going to include a map for the first stage, first level of your game. So the important part of this document is all of it. You need to have all of this document created in order to have a good launching point from which to build your game. Now, the game design document is a living document, which means that once you're done with it this week, you're not done with it. You're going to keep adding to it and revising it and altering things and fixing things, and you're going to build on this document, and it's going to go with the game itself all the way up until we're ready to publish your game. All right. Now, in order to really organize the game design document effectively, we're going to be using a bulleted list. So bullets are these little dots which you may have remembered seeing in your PowerPoint presentation. When you have a bulleted list, the bullets are arranged in a hierarchy, which is in order of importance. So if I'm going to, for example, start off with something really broad, just as an example of a list, not something that's going to be in your game design document, but I'm going to start off with something really broad. I'm going to say video game consoles. If I press enter to go to the next line, then it will give me another bullet point at that same level of importance. But if you look on your keyboard, just to the left of the letter Q in the top left-hand corner, there's going to be a button there that says Tab. If you click the Tab button, then it's going to shift the bullet over one level of importance. And so you're going to be able to put some other items there that would fall underneath a video game consoles category. For example, if I put the Wii and I put PlayStation and I put Xbox. So these are all different video game consoles. So let's do that again. Let's move our cursor up to Wii, press enter, and then hit that tab key, which is just to the left of the letter Q, and it moves it over one more. Now I remember there's a Wii, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's a Wii U. Do the same thing for the PlayStation. For the PlayStation, hitting that tab button to move it over, you have the PS1, the PlayStation 1, the PS2, all the way down to PlayStation 4 nowadays. Sony is not very creative in naming their PlayStations. Then for Xbox, same thing. Press that tab. For the Xbox, you have the original Xbox. You have the Xbox 360. And you have the Xbox One. Now, what if you need to move one of the bullets over to the left? If you look at the tab key on your keyboard, the key that's just to the left of the letter Q, you'll see that it has a picture of an arrow facing left and a picture of an arrow facing right. So far, we've only done pressing the tab key and causing the arrow to go to the right. But if you hit the shift key, which is just to the left of the letter Z, the same way that you would press that button in order to make a letter capital when you're typing, if you press the shift key and hit the tab button, it'll move things over to the left and make them more important. So we could go ahead and we could add PC on here if we wanted to. So that's a brief introduction to bulleted lists. Let's get back to your game design document. You're going to need to have, just as an example, you're going to need to have how the game is played. So let's make a bulleted list here. How to play might include things like what the controls are, what the rules are. Rules might include winning and losing. We're also going to need a map. So you're going to fill in this basic skeleton. The map I expect to be rather detailed. I want that map to be a good representation of what your game is going to look like. So make sure that you are working on your game design document. This is going to be due on Friday, so you have the entire week to do it. It is also worth more points than the other assignments that we have done in this class so far. This is worth as much as a test. So you have an entire week to work on it. It's a very important document. Stay focused, get to work, and I'll be back in soon so that I'll be able to help you out with any questions.